video so it looked like Satou Sabally. Road to Indiana has officially begun.
The biggest free agency surprise in the NBA just came out. Although she has stated that she wants to leave Indiana, the Dallas Wings have officially ceded Satou Sabally. Fever taking the lead in this move could change the balance of power in the league as a whole. What's occurring in Dallas has shocked the basketball world. The Wings' decision to core designate Satou Sabally isn't just another WNBA deal. It's a move that could change the future of the entire league. We must first understand what this core designation actually means. When a WNBA team cores a player, they are essentially saying that the player is too valuable to lose. This is the strongest tactic a team can use to retain their star player. But this is where things start to get interesting. Let's take a closer look at what's actually happening behind the scenes. Sabally has succeeded. Crystal Clear is prepared for a new phase in her life.
Satou Sabally. She is a player we've been talking about, those people who are fans of the Indiana Fever, and we have said we would love Satou to come on over to Indiana because we weren't thinking that she was going.
We can learn everything we need to know about Sabally's journey in Dallas by looking at her development from a promising draft pick to one of the league's most versatile players. Her performance last season wasn't just good, it was career-defining. We're talking about figures that placed her in elite company. 18.6 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 4.4 assists per game aren't just numbers, they're a statement. What makes Sabally unique, though, isn't just the numbers. It's also how she gets them. Standing 6 feet 4 inches in, she moves like a guard but can defend multiple positions, make plays for others, and drive to the basket. Versatility is gold in the modern WNBA, and the Wings knew this, which is precisely why they made this move.
Satou Sabally, I like your style. Pick it up and carry it.
However, Dallas's choice to core her is more about managing the circumstance than it is about keeping her. If Sabally is set on leaving, they want to make sure they receive something worthwhile in exchange. This is where the business side of basketball enters the picture, and the timing of this couldn't be more important. A new era for the WNBA is dawning. The level of play has never been greater. Television numbers are up, social media participation is skyrocketing, and teams are positioning themselves for the next 5 years as well as the upcoming season. Dallas is aware that they have a valuable card in Sabally.
Year. So, I mean, do you have any ideas of what you might prioritize, or do you plan to stay in Dallas next season?
Yeah, I mean, I've already communicated with Dallas how grateful I am because they've made this a home for me for the past years, and I'm working with them together and finding a next home for me because I've already played my last game in Dallas, and I'm just excited. I'm excited for free agency. I'm able to talk to a lot of players outside the league because I have not played on a different team yet, and I'm excited to get to know them more on a personable level, but also knowing how they approach the game. And I just love having basketball conversations and high-level IQ conversations about the game to know where I will fit best in the future.
Let's discuss the potential losses for Dallas. In addition to being a talented athlete, Sabally is a marketable individual who engages with fans. Her social media presence and international background, her playing style contributes to someone who helps sell jerseys and fill seats. The Wings are losing a member of their team in addition to points and rebounds. Although Sabally has excelled on the court, there have been indications of discontent through cryptic interviews and behind-the-scenes social media posts, and this current circumstance suggests that the athlete is ready for a new beginning. The Wings most likely anticipated this, which explains why they took the initiative to assign the core designation. The intriguing thing is how this will affect the Wings' roster structure going forward. They have other gifted players like Ara Ogunbali and Tiara Mawan, but Sabally's possible exit leaves a big hole. Finding someone who can have as much of an impact on the game as she does is more important than simply replacing her production. In the WNBA, where there is a strict salary cap, losing or trading a max contract player can drastically alter a team's entire financial structure. The Wings are aware of this, and it affects how they approach possible trade packages. Considering Dallas's recent history, they've been constructing something promising. They made the playoffs, displayed flashes of brilliance, but never quite reached that next level. Now, they must make a crucial decision that could impact their trajectory for years to come. The Wings front office deserves praise for being proactive rather than allowing Sabally to walk for nothing in free agency. They're making sure they'll receive assets in return. It's a business decision, but it also demonstrates their long-term thinking, as they're not just responding to Sabally's wish to leave. They're attempting to turn it into an opportunity
to show something else. I like her style because whenever you're dealing with, say, politics, and basketball is very often more political than politics itself. But when you're dealing with politics, when you're dealing with sports figures, when there's free agency involved and all those things, it's really difficult to get a straight answer from people. People often don't tell you anything.
Players throughout the league are keeping a close eye on the WNBA community's response because they know it might set the standard for future free agency situations. Media professionals are attempting to glean hidden meanings from every speech and social media post, while fans are conjecturing about possible deals. According to insiders, several teams have already contacted Dallas, and while Indiana appears to be leading the pack, other teams would want to acquire a player of Sabally's talent. The Dallas front office is under tremendous pressure to balance a number of factors, including getting fair value in return, maintaining their competitive standing, and sending a message about how they handle star players who wish to leave. The Wings are in a position to start a bidding war that could maximize their return in any trade. It's a thin balance that might determine how they are seen in subsequent free agency situations. What's really intriguing is how this circumstance illustrates the WNBA's development. Whereas a few years ago, this kind of drama could have been a footnote, it is today a significant story that is making headlines and trending on social media. The Dallas media has been covering every detail and development of this story, and local supporters are invested because they know that this might be a turning moment for their club. The league's heightened visibility means that every move is examined more than ever. The way the Wings respond to this circumstance might either improve or worsen their connection with their devoted Dallas fanbase. The rise of the Indiana Fever as the leading team in the Satou Sabally sweepstakes are the product of deliberate planning and ideal timing, not merely coincidence. Sabally might be the element that turns the Fever from promising to powerful. Let's start with what the Fever already has. The Fever has been subtly creating something unique. Aaliyah Boston is not only excellent, she is transforming. The 2023 Rookie of the Year has demonstrated her ability to be a key member of the team by shooting an amazing 57.8% from the field and averaging 14.5 points and 8.4 rebounds. The presumptive first pick in the 2024 draft, Caitlin Clark, isn't just any rookie. She's a generational talent who is already driving season ticket sales before even being drafted. Her ability to shoot from anywhere combined with her elite passing skills makes her the ideal modern point guard. Nalissa Smith has grown into a dependable force, and her chemistry with Boston in the front court has been getting stronger with every game. The thing that has WNBA onlookers talking is the possible inclusion of Sabally in this combination. Consider a roster that includes Clark's playmaking and shooting, the versatility of Sabally and Boston's inner domination, the matchup issues, and spacing the potential for offense. It's sufficient to keep rival coaches awake at night, but it's more important to consider how these elements work together than just the highlights. Let's examine what Sabally would offer to Indiana in particular. She can play a variety of positions, which would give the team amazing lineup versatility. She needs to shoot better to be a power forward, but she can also play center in some games and create plays. Last season, she averaged 4.4 assists, which was remarkable for her position, but this is where things start to get interesting. According to sources, Indiana may need to part with a mix of players and draft selections in order to make the numbers work. A sign-in trade for Sabally entails assembling a package that pleases Dallas while keeping enough depth to contend. Future draft considerations for experienced players and possibly even international players' rights could be discussed. The WNBA's pay cap forces clubs to be innovative, therefore the financial component is also quite important. Considering the market impact, Indiana has positioned themselves well by keeping flexibility while developing their young core. However, signing Sabally on a max contract requires them to make some difficult roster construction decisions. They must make sure they can both sign her and have enough cap space to assemble a full roster around their core. This move could have a revolutionary effect on the Fever franchise. Although the team has been rebuilding since their championship days, Indiana has a strong basketball culture. The anticipated arrival of Caitlin Clark has already generated unprecedented demand in season tickets. Adding Sabally would increase the hype in a market eager for basketball success. It is impossible to ignore the chemistry component. With free agency underway and the draft drawing near, decisions must be made quickly. Solly's game would be a perfect fit for Clark in Boston because she can space the floor, create her own shot, and most importantly, she doesn't need the ball in her hands all the time to be effective. In today's WNBA, having multiple players who can create and score is essential, and this potential lineup would have that in spades. The Fever cannot afford to miss this chance, but they also cannot afford to overspend. Given the wider ramifications, this decision could change the WNBA's power dynamics. It's a delicate balance that calls for both patience and decisiveness from the front office. With teams like New York and Connecticut, the Eastern Conference is already fiercely competitive. High expectations, but a Fever squad with Boston and Sabally Clark would be a power for years to come because of their versatility and young skill. The evolution of the Holy Trinity in contemporary basketball is remarkable as well. All of these players are young and still developing. Boston is only beginning to realize her full ability. Clark will need to get used to the professional game, but offers unmatched shooting range. Despite her achievements, Sabally is only 25 and just starting her peak, so there is a lot of room for tactical improvement. Head coach Christy Sides would have amazing choices. Sabally's versatility would be crucial in this situation because she can guard multiple positions and create mismatches on offense in pivotal moments. Having players who can adjust to any situation is invaluable, and it would have a significant impact on the rest of the roster, as well as give role players more room to operate. The Fever could play big or small, fast or slow, and switch everything on defense. The total level of play would probably increase since defenders couldn't concentrate on just one or two players, and team veterans would gain from. In addition to the increased attention and space that this core would generate, the fact that Sabally is from Germany and has a worldwide fanbase, along with Clark's enormous popularity and Boston's rising star, could make the Fever a team with substantial international appeal in the current digital era. This is important for developing a brand and luring in future talent. The business ramifications go beyond sponsorships of product sales and ticket sales. There would probably be notable increases in media coverage overall. The WNBA is expanding, and having several recognizable players on one team, especially young ones, is crucial to creating a long-lasting franchise. The Liberty have their great team, and other teams aren't standing still when it comes to the competition. While a number of other teams are making moves, the Aces are defending champions. The pressure to make this work would be great because high-profile moves come with high expectations, and the addition of Sabally would be a strong indication that the team is prepared to compete at the highest level. The long-term implications of this potential move cannot be overstated. If successful, it could set up the Fever for 10 years of competitiveness. More importantly, though, it could establish a model for other teams looking to rebuild through a combination of draft picks and strategic free agent acquisitions. The Fever would need to manage these expectations while giving their young core time to gel. What's especially intriguing about this possible move is the potential impact it could have on the league as a whole. We're not just discussing one team improving, we're also considering a potential change in the way WNBA teams approach roster building. The Fever would demonstrate how aggressive moves made at the right time, coupled with patient rebuilding, can transform a franchise. Here, the player development component is essential. Adding Sabally to this atmosphere might help her achieve even greater heights because she would be surrounded by players who complement her game while still having room to be the center of the offense, as demonstrated by Boston's rookie season, which shows that Indiana's staff can develop young talent. Additionally, there is the legacy question. Given the Fever's impressive past, which includes their 2012 title, this transfer might mark the start of their future. The addition of Sabally would demonstrate that Indiana is serious about making the most of this historic moment in their franchise history. The coming weeks will be critical as free agency progresses and trade negotiations progress, making every choice more significant. The Sabally problem is far from done, and if you want to remain up to date on every development about this significant WNBA topic, we'll keep you updated. The Fever are aware that they have a unique opportunity here, and how they manage it might define their franchise for years to come. Click the subscribe button to enable notifications. Please share your opinions in the comments section below.